Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Finally, it's time to read. How are we doing? I hope I can keep my window open for a little bit because it's quite nice outside and I would like to air it out a little bit, but we'll have to see. There's maintenance once again, so they might ruin it, but hopefully the sound will stay away. I think they quit already. I don't know what they're doing. I no idea. But I know what I'm doing. I'm going to be reading about Benjamin Franklin. Who's excited? I'm a bit nervous, to be honest. Hi, Erin. Good morning, Tylos. I am feeling a little bit better, I guess. At least I'm not completely freaking out anymore. I'm calm and collected. But let's see what the environment is going to do. And I don't know. I am a little bit worried about this because, there's going to be things about the times that I might not agree with. I didn't read yesterday. I decided to read a little bit of On the Beach. I should have taken that. Actually, On the Beach is really, really interesting. Um, let's move my notes here. So, the Moira character, I really hope that she will. I have a feeling that we're going to go with the submarine, but I really hope we'll hear more about Moira because she has a good point, man. She has a really good point. She's not just a wild one. She's just like, we're all dying. So I might as well do it off my face. So she's very interesting. Should I get it? Hold on. I'll get it. I'll get it. Good morning, bucket list. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day so far. Oh, I have to fill up the cat feed. No, this one. This one. I made it to page 72 yesterday, and then I got too tired. Uh, An interesting sentence that I stumbled upon was the general effect was one of boisterous and uninhibited lightheartedness, more in the style of 1890 than of 1963. And that is just so hard to fathom. But I don't know what it was like in 1890, but apparently it was boisterous and uninhibited. I don't know. I should do a little bit of research on one of the points that I came across in the Benjamin Franklin book. Oh, okay. I have a little bit of room here, so let's go. These ones are early stream spangs, I think. Yesterday was a good day. I beat the Christmas rush by purchasing all the Christmas presents ahead of time. Good, good. I am freaking out about that as well. It's always stressful. I do have a few things for the kitties. A little, I mean, not that they need more toys, but I usually end up buying things for the kitties mostly. Yeah, ready? You have time, and I have a little bit of energy. Yeah. The hippie period of the 19th century. That's the 19th century, right? You have to do. If it's in the 1800s, it's the 19th century, right? I always get confused about that. It never made sense to me. I mean, I guess it does, but it doesn't. Oh, baby girl, you have no idea. Is it done? Okay, that was a quick one. I don't know. I mean, we all know about the roaring 20s of the 1920s, but ours has been very disappointing, don't you think? I should put this here, actually. I am aware that I did not put in timestamps in the VODs over on YouTube. My apologies. I will get on that as soon as I have time and feel comfortable enough to look at the screen later today. Hi, Vordy. How are you doing? Me and time periods is a difficult combo. What do you mean? Like you get confused as well because I mean this is the 21st century and I get it, but also it's so confusing. But it's mostly me. It's mostly me. Let me see. Uh, what vibes were there in the ne- what was it? 1890s. Not done? You can come. Oh, good. Yeah, that's actually I prefer this. What young people did for amusement and entertainment in 1819. Uh, when young persons went to a friend's house at night, they had to walk carrying a lantern when there was no moonlight. The general evening's relaxation was to play cards, poker, and the new game bridge, just introduced. In summer, outside of the baseball club, many families had tennis courts. There were dancing parties at the Saturday clubhouse once a month, and amateur theatrics occasionally in the Wayne Opera House. This is a specific place. Um, I mean, it was a long time ago, so it was very demure still, which is why I stumbled upon it. I was like, I do not know what to imagine here. What do I imagine here? Nothing. Probably just drinking, and playing cards and poker, drinking and gambling. Has anything changed? I don't think so. Hi, Winston. Can you be, not a nuisance because I took away the plant. It's not here anymore. What have you done to Toos? I've done nothing. What did I do? What did I mean, I have neglected her Spanx a little bit because I'm a bit weak. I'm a bit weak. My body is a bit weak. But next month is going to be very interesting for yoga with Adrian because I think or next month, this month is it's rhythm yoga with Adrian. Calendar. Yes, rhythm. Was the was the name? I didn't want to go to the actual playlist. I just wanted to see the calendar, please. No, it's left. Oh gosh, hold on. So we're getting closer and closer to January, and if you want to start yoga, I honestly, it's something you can do at home. You don't need to get any equipment, and a yoga mat doesn't have to be expensive these days. They're not going to be great quality, but to see if you like it, I think you could get a decent one for 20 bucks. Like you have cheaper ones, but I would go for a little, not the cheapest one. But you don't need anything. You can literally just use the floor, which is how yoga was originally started, because everything else is with the resistance and weight of your own body. And every January, Adrian does. I mean, I'm hoping she still does it because things have been changing. Oh, here. But for like over a decade, every January she does a new upload every day. It's just a month to get into the habit really, but instead of following the calendar, which I do usually throughout the year, January is every day a new video, and it's really an experience because thousands of people do it along every day, and I don't know, it's just a feeling of community a little bit, and the theme somehow always fits. And to give a bit of an unfortunate example, the year of, 2020 in January, her theme had been home. She couldn't have known what was going to happen, but that was so on topic for that year. It's really amazing. And I've had that a few years before as well, that I felt like this is very, what was one called? Like something about roots, or reconnecting with your core, not well, also literally, but like your heart. And it was just so fitting. So if you have ever considered doing yoga, maybe look into her channel a little bit in the coming weeks. And just so you know, the first day of January is usually just the hardest part, which is showing up for yourself. And all you do is sit on the mat, and she gives you a little bit of a pep talk, and that's really it. And it's to prove to yourself that first day that this is the hardest part. Once you're there, you're going to be a little bit disappointed that she doesn't have a practice ready, which you can do yourself afterwards. But yeah, I am in love with her whole concept, and I met her in person. She's adorable, and very passionate about what she's doing. What Tooth is doing, I don't know. Winston is causing chaos. Yeah, Adrian, yeah, Tylos. She's the only one I have ever done a class with, both online and in real life. I went to her live show, her live class, when she was touring last time. I think it was last time. I don't think she's done any after, because then the pandemic hit. So I was lucky, I guess. She's also very nice in person. We're both in the theater community in Austin. Really? Hi, media. Really? I am slightly jealous, sort of. I don't know. I would be starstruck constantly. I love her so much. But she has done a lot for my mental health, like a lot more than my therapy did, even though I was also in therapy during the time that I started doing yoga with her. And there's just something about the way she does it. It's not just about the poses. She's really affirming when it comes to mental health. And she makes sure that you don't feel bad if you don't actually get the poses right. It's really a holistic approach to yoga, which it should be. But the Western version of yoga isn't always holistic, in my experience. That's why I will stick to Adrian forever. Thank you, Erin. I tried. My belly is threatening me, and I am resisting with making myself look pretty. So let's hope that my mail doesn't arrive until after stream, though, when I can put on a slightly different, because I do look a bit ridiculous for the season. But I don't care if I have to stay at home. If I do have to go get groceries, I have to be prepared for little girls to be enchanted, and I feel I have to be in a specific mood for that. It's cute, but I don't want to disappoint the little girls that think I'm a princess. I'm not, but I have to pretend to be, right? If you're gonna look like a Disney princess, you should behave like one. Isn't that one of the rules? Can you not do that, Winston? I need that pen. But also, I thought, why not look like a forest fairy? I still haven't finished something that I was making for Halloween. I just don't feel creative. I have all the things, and it's really just a trust the process. Get on with it. The base is ready. I just have to do a little bit of clay for the details, and then just stick on the pretty things. But I don't know. I've been very uninspired, which is one of the reasons why I want to do the cross stitch, because it helps me be creative without having to do any creative thinking myself. I know it's a bit of a cheat, but I'm looking forward to it. I hope I get the hoops tonight, Erin, actually, but probably tomorrow. Too's her little basket didn't come in either yesterday. That was a disappointment, right, Toos? Poor Toos. The basket that was broken. This thingy, if you have a cat, you recognize it. This part, like, broke pretty violently while Toos was still in there. And Winston has taken it upon himself to fight this thing. He's been dragging it around. I'm not sure about that. But I guess if it entertains him. You do you, boo, we say. So yes, I will be reading a cherrypies book club pick, the heaviest one, because I will need the support of a table. But if you haven't actually considered reading along with us, take a look at this one. It's On the Beach by Neville Shute, and it's I feel like this is the first post-apocalyptic book ever written, and I'm not sure they understood what would come after this. The way it's written, I mean, there's a few interesting sentences with the way that they talk, because it was like 1950s, like it was a butte evening. So people commenting on, especially teenage girls, changing words and making them sound silly, that's not a new thing. We've been doing that forever. Which is, I think it's cute. I think it's cute to read the way people communicate. But honestly, this just feels like it's something that was written recently and just takes place after the Second World War. It doesn't feel dated at all. It's so interesting. There are some things that I don't understand. Like, I don't know about the Navy. uh, can you imagine being underwater in a submarine for 32 days? I would go mad. It takes a special kind of person to do this job. We'll see, we'll see. I'm very curious. Once he leaves in the submarine, I do hope we'll get snippets of what is going on back in Australia. But basically, they have a time. There's a time limit. The north of the world has been completely flattened by atomic warfare. Australia, it seems like they didn't participate in any of it. They didn't do any of the whatever they were shooting at each other. But you know, the fallout is still going to reach Australia, but because of the way air moves, it doesn't come straight down. It has to circulate through the southern hemisphere first before it gets the northern hemisphere first, and then it will get picked up by the winds below the equator. So they have until September, which is why this Moira character that I talked about yesterday, like, oh, she's a wild one. Yeah, she is, because she realizes she's dead. So I don't think this is going to be a happy ending, but we'll see. I'm not going to read this on stream today, though, because, like I said, this one needs support, physical support, and it's probably going to be interesting to talk about it with you as well, because I do know that a lot of you guys are American, and I don't know anything. I don't know anything, really. Wait, what? On that note, all hail Princess Jerry. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm a fairy. I don't want to be a princess. I want to be a fairy. A forest fairy. Apparently 67 is not the new word in the dictionary. Do I want to know? Do I want to know? Do I want to know? Question. I didn't notice it, but I have a timed message in Streamlabs of Stream Elements that is sending you to a petition that I would love for you to sign. If you're not familiar with the case, I mean, you could do a little bit of research, but I wouldn't do a deep dive, because it's gonna be upsetting. But it's very important that this person gets justice, and that the investigation will actually be carried out instead of, being buried, because it's been buried. It's been buried over there. But I feel like it's blocked, because I have not seen it pop up once, and it should be popping up every 20 minutes. And I have not seen it, which is very interesting. I reinstalled it, I turned it off and on again. I still don't see it pop up. So if you could let me know if you see the petition come by. That would be great because I have a feeling that there's something off with it. Hi, I'm the guy. I'm assuming is your name. It just means tall guy. How tall would that be? Terrifying. It doesn't even want to give me what it actually is. No, thank you. That's way too tall. Why is it in the dictionary? Wait, why was it put in the dictionary? Well, I'm Dutch. That doesn't mean anything to me. 6 feet and 7 inch. I don't know what that means. I think in centimeters, unfortunately. So I have to look it up. But apparently it's 2 meters and 4 centimeters, which is very tall. Not the tallest. I'm sure I've met someone who was taller. I'm not a fan. That's too much. But why though? Where does it come from? Why are people? Is it because of the song of that guy of No the Girl that wants like a man in finance or something? Oh my God! Hold on, he got into a cabinet. Are you kidding me? Winston taught himself to open cabinets like stop it a week ago. I would say I'm gonna have to put something in front of it. I need to find like locks for kid logs for my cabinets for my cat. What is? Please stop. No, no, Winnie. No, no. I'll put something in front of it once we go into a first sprint because in about 4 minutes we are going into our first sprints. Now, listen up. It's Tuesday. On Tuesday, I read. Reading is one of the most effective ways to try and practice flow. Practice is a very important word here because our focus has been, ruined a little bit, and but we can train it again. And the hardest part is showing up. So sitting down and actually opening a book is really the biggest hurdle you'll have to overcome. But once you're in it, once you're reading, unless it's a very, very bad book, you'll find that you will want to continue reading the one more page problem. So that is what I do on Tuesdays. And instead of more sprints, we have more focus hours, power hours. I have not had enough coffee yet. Clearly. Uh, Now, a full hour is near impossible, but that's the thing. It's about the getting back to it. So you'll get more familiar with that resistance that you feel when you have to start a project or start work or start working out. Winston, we are not doing this. Come on, get away. The thing is, he's in the cabinet that has poison in it, so that's not good. I put the top part of the cattery in front of it because I had to disassemble the cattery in order to get the broken piece out of it. And I found out that because it now has that piece missing, the top part doesn't connect anymore, and that's dangerous. So hopefully he'll leave it alone. All right, we have 2 minutes left during the first sprint, the first and last sprint, because after that we are going to do power hours, as I said. Um, I will be muting myself so you can turn on your own music or just listen to the silence or whatever it is that you need today. important thing to remember whenever you're in this stream is that you have to do what is good for you. Sometimes we have to do things that we don't want to do, work, taxes. Ugh. But if this is a day where you can get away with taking a breath and a moment for yourself, that is okay too. You can just keep each other company and chat. That would help me out. And we can just hang, you know. Staying alive is a full-time job and it's not easy. So let's just be kind and keep each other company. Random? What? Oh. No one knows what 67 means. Made up bullshit word, something random that supposedly is funny to say. Okay, I'll believe you. It reminds me of 68. It reminds me of 1968, the height of the war in Vietnam. I won't be discussing that war though. Let's not discuss war bucket list. I'm already going to read. I'm already going to read about Benjamin Franklin, and I'm sure I'll read about things that are not interesting, as in not fun. Hi Sinclair. Good morning. Did you know the UK was put more people in prison for online posts than Russia and China? I believe that. I believe that, guy. There's so much we don't know, and honestly, maybe we don't want to know at this point because it's a lot already. So, let's find what feels good. All right? Be careful out there, Tylos. I am going to mute myself. I'll see you in half an hour. Good luck, and don't worry, it's all going to be okay. Last minute. Right. Interesting information. God dang it. How did it go? Um, we're taking a 10-minute break and then we're going into a power hour, which means we are going to go for the full hour because it is Tuesday and on Tuesdays I read, which is one of the most effective ways to try and practice flow. So if you would like to join me, I would love that. I am currently reading one of the book club picks, which was a viewer submission and is a biography on Benjamin Franklin. Uh, women were wilding in that time. Also, the last thing I stumbled upon was that Benjamin Franklin's mother gave birth for the last time to his youngest sister Jane at 45. Why are women being told that time is running out once they hit 30? When women were having kids well into their 40s, because how else are you going to get 20 kids out? That's so much. That's so much. That's so much. I don't even want to imagine what that must have been like. Now, yes, men tended to go through women a bit fast, and having two or three wives in a lifetime was not unheard of. But also, maybe that's because they were always pregnant. God dang. That's so intense. I, honestly already learning things that I'm like, wait, I have to think about this a little bit more. And I'm not even I'm not even that far in. I'm on page freaking 17. Early childhood and ancestry. But I mean, he seemed to be a quite inventive guy. That's for sure. But this, I don't get the sentence that Franklin recounted the tale of them stealing stones that was meant to build a house, to build themselves a wharf. They would as young teens, I guess, they would wait until the workers went home, and then they would go steal stones to make a wharf. I don't know why. It's not explained why. But then he recounts that in his autobiography. He said his father's maxim that nothing was useful which was not honest. Does that mean that it's saying you should fool people? Is that what that means? I'm not sure in this context, especially. I don't like double negatives. They always have me confused. Winston is very restless today, and I'm not amused by it. No, don't do it, Winston. He gets so angry when I take away the thing that he's trying to destroy because he's a teenager. It's okay. Hi, Sammy. How are you doing? I look like I didn't see that movie. Should I? I've heard a lot about it, and it does sound interesting. It's a weird one, isn't it? From when is it? I have heard a lot about this. Oh, I see why. A folk horror film written and directed by Ari Aster. Oh, I didn't know it was the Florence lady. An American couple who are drawn into a violent cult in rural Sweden. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't want to be scared of Sweden, please. I made progress in my Swedish coloring book. I have a Swedish coloring book because I'm learning Swedish, low key. But it's going to be very interesting because I've already discovered mistakes. And there's one number that doesn't even correlate to anything. There's no, it doesn't exist. There's a number in the coloring page that doesn't have a word accompanied to it. So I don't know. I maybe should leave a review. The longer I think about it, the more I realize this dictionary coloring book may not have been checked by someone who was actually Swedish, which could be good for me personally because I'll do my own research. But if you don't know that it's wrong, then you're gonna. Duolingo is also, a bit sketchy, but this is even more sketchy. You would think you could trust something that is in print, but Duolingo, I don't know. I don't know. Let me quickly check chat because I didn't see it, right? That's so interesting. Yeah, it should have been coming by. Okay, so let me turn it on, off and on one more time. Let's bring this down. Maybe that will work. So weird that the command doesn't work. It's the timer. It's just not. And I thought I'd noticed it in the last few streams already that certain timers are not popping up. The rest is working. I've been keeping an eye on it, but this one particular one is just not. Fascinating. Fascinating things are happening in the world, don't you think? Hi, Mick is what I'm gonna do with your name. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Hold on, I wanna check real quick something. Hmm. We'll see. We'll see. The rest of the week. I won't draw any conclusions until I'm done with the week. I think it's meant as in the things that are not honest are never useful. Yeah, I'm so confused, Silas. I'm not into. I mean, in the context with the story that he gives, it sounds like he's saying that it's good to not be honest, but it's said in such a way that you could deny it possibly and just say no. I mean that actually you should be honest, and it doesn't pay off to be dishonest. But nothing was useful which was not honest. Is it, or does he mean that you need to be honest? Why is it a double negative? Why would you do that? Just be clear. They're also sort of claiming that he invented flippers, like to swim, Franklin, but there's no source for that one. And kites, he did a lot of things with kites. There's a little story about how he waded himself into a pond, floated on his back, and let a kite pull him to the other side of the pond, which is quite genius. But also, was he the first person to do that? Really? That one does have it. Wait, that has a no. Hold on. Where did? I'm gonna ignore that. Where did he see that? This person who did the research. What was the number? 19. Oh, he wrote it in a letter himself. See, how do I know? How do I know? How do I know? Everything in here is real. I don't. I will never know. Oh, this is not even... This is not the one I wanted. I'll go find it. All right. We are going into a power hour. The power hour is designed to try and practice flow. Another way to describe that is getting into the zone. And the most important part of this is just getting back to it. A full hour of complete focus is almost unheard of in this day and age, but we're going to do our best. I will be reading Benjamin Franklin's biography. It's one of our book club picks this month. And hopefully I'll learn a lot more. One thing I've learned by now is that women bore children until they were 45, which is amazing. I would not. the amount of them? My God. No wonder. I mean, that usefulness has honesty as a root. I hope so, Mick, but it's worded very interestingly. They made it sound unnecessarily difficult. They could have just said that. But I guess in that time it was necessary to speak a bit flowery. Hi, Garfield. Good morning. We are going into a power hour. I will be muting myself so you can just listen to your own music. Won't hear me yell at Winston when he tries to get into a cabinet again. And generally just have more opportunity to focus. I'll keep an eye on chat, but if you are staying in chat, keep each other company. That would be great. I'm going to make some tea and learn more about Benjamin Franklin. Let me know what you're up to, and good luck. Last minute. Listen, there's so many pages left and there's so much happening. What the hell? This dude was the original Bridgerton. What's her face? Winston. Hey, Winston. Hello. Really? Are you kidding me? Hello? Don't look don't look at her like that. She did nothing wrong. No. He's angry. Um so I'm learning a lot about America as well, but I guess I'm currently in the part where he's still young, Benjamin Franklin, and uh, it was really by chance that he ended up working as a printer because he needed an apprenticeship. Winston, she is saying no. Winston. And well, there's a lot of interesting things with that the first paper that they released, but he starts writing under a pseudonym, Mrs. Dogood. The full name is Mrs. Silence Dogood, which is already like what a name. But he writes as a woman, um, and really poses interesting questions. Um, and this is getting to me a little bit. This is why history can be very depressing. And if you read classic literature as well, because you realize that not a lot of things have changed. People are not really changing. So what do we do to make sure that people start changing? Because it's just too similar. Um, in one of the essays, Mrs. Dogood recounts falling asleep under an apple tree while she mulls over whether to send her son to Harvard, a school where our BF doesn't end up going to. As she journeys in her dream toward this temple of learning, she makes a discovery about those who sent sons there. Most of them consulted their own purses instead of their children's capacities, so that I observed a great many, yeah, the most part of those who were travelling thither were little better than dunces and blockheads. The gate of the temple, she finds, is guarded by two sturdy porters named Riches and Poverty, and only those who meet the approval of the former could get in. Most of the students are content to dally with the figures called idleness and ignorance. They learn little more than how to carry themselves handsomely and enter a room genteelly, which might as well be acquired at a dancing school, and from thence they return, after abundance of trouble and charge, as great blockheads as ever, only more profound and self-conceited. Uh, isn't that exactly what's happening now? Really? We think about it? Apparently, as Mrs. Dogwood, also proposed an insurance scheme funded by subscriptions from married couples. This is interesting because he would think of a sort of tax from a certain group of people to support those that were on the opposing side. So, for example, a tax on those who make money through intellectual means, writers, for example, and use that tax to support the retarded people of society. And I thought that's quite genius, because then you know where your money goes to, and those are people are probably most likely to understand what it means to live with a lack of intellect, and hopefully are more inclined to want to support that tax. It just makes sense. And the married couples one is for women who are not married by 30, which would guarantee a sum of £500. I don't even, what would that be in today's money? Um, just if you're unmarried and 30, you would get £500. There were some rules to it, but that is also interesting, which would be funded by married couples who have probably an understanding for what it would mean to be alone by 30. I don't know. Super interesting. Also want to know a little bit more about Daniel Defoe. I had no idea what kind of person that was, and gotten a glimpse of him, and I kind of want to know more about him as well. Did a bit of Google, and this one rings, this one hurts as well. Um, The most dangerous hypocrite in a commonwealth is one who leaves the gospel for the sake of the law. A man compounded of law and gospel is able to cheat a whole country with his religion and then destroy them under color of law. Not going to add anything to that, but maybe you can imagine why these sentences are ringing in my head very loudly. Hi, Riku. How are you doing? Oh, and also, hello, Vinny and Metzamillion. Thank you so much for the follows. Welcome. How are we doing? I'll take my yearly single reimbursement. I am stupefied. Wait, what? Oh, I don't think it's yearly. I think it would have been like one. No. I was here. Let me see. Um, when was it? Money converter. Let me see. Let me see. Was it around the 1720s? Oh, that's so much. That must be so much. Okay. I don't know what to do with this website. Hold on. Different one. No, it has to be pound. Pound. Not dollar. It says pound. Dang it. Wait, did I even I am so full into this. Wait, where do I find this? S- li- Jane cookies? Wait, there's places where you can find this. Where? Oh, hold on. I'm stupefied as already. I am not. I'm not thinking clearly. Single payment. Yeah, 500 and 1700 is equivalent in purchasing power to about 39,509 and 27 pence today. So quote purchasing power about 70,000, increase over $250. Dollar had an average inflation of. Well, it's pounds. It's not dollars. It's pounds. Garfield. You would get 500 pounds. Hi, Scraticus. It's just afternoon. It's okay. I'll forgive you. How are you doing? Listen, listen. I am trying so hard to get through the book, the boy and the mole and the fox and the horse. I couldn't even get through the introduction. Already sobbing. When I tried the first story, I was like, I am not. I am so not mentally stable. What is this? I'm just bawling every time I open that book. It's too confronting. All the kindness. Where did you get this information, though, Garfield? Oh, wait. I'll just go here. Stop it. No, no, shh. I need to I need to figure this out right now. Let's say it's like 1722 is the last date I saw. So let's just say let's say 22. So he proposed that if you were 30, a woman and unmarried at 30, that you would get a payment of what would be today 90 £69,219 and 63 pence. In 1722, which is the date around which this was published. Ding! I'm a fan. I get it. I'm a fangirl. I could use that money. What the hell? I'd be out of here. Sweden it is. Okay, well then. Yeah, I used that one. From 19 no 1722 to now. Hi, Blue. We're going into a power hour and a process that Benjamin Franklin proposed that women that were unmarried at 30 would get almost £100,000 in today's money. What? So, yeah, learning a lot. But I don't know, man. If this is the first 30 pages, this is going to be mad. Yeah, exactly. That's insane, right, Garfield? Blue, you are the winner for the streaks at this point. I think no one has a bigger streak than you do. Congrats! I feel so honored. All right, I'm gonna learn more about Benjamin Franklin and America and history and society. And honestly, I am hooked. It's so interesting. Now I am very curious, so it's probably just me, but also who why would you not get excited about this kind of information? It tickles my brain. So I'm gonna mute myself, turn to real music, try to ignore the screaming in your mind. It's not normal, but the world is not okay, so it's quite normal for those circumstances. Let me know what you're up to. If you're just gonna hang and chat, that would be lovely. And I'll try to not freak out about all these mad things that I'm learning about Benjamin Franklin. He was wild, man. But before I do, hello, Ryan can't spell. I can't pronounce your name almost. Welcome. I'll see you in an hour. Good luck. Last minute. That was it. Oh man, this book is gonna be so intense. Hi Barry and hi Katsu. Hi Les Brown and Phil. How are we doing? I am reading one of our book club picks for this month, biography on Benjamin Franklin, and I am so amused. Very overwhelmed as well, because the things I am learning and just this is going to be nearly 50 pages of this, probably. Wildly fascinating person. More slash and scratches, please. She has been decent today, but that's probably because Winston is going berserk. Their cat tree is currently half assembled, and I feel like it's upsetting both of them. Winston? No! Yeah, I mean, it's not a challenge. She's just slow, alright? She does not understand what you're doing. The miscommunications between my cats, I have resolved it. Toulouse does not speak cat. Winston does speak cat, and Toulouse also doesn't blink. So he thinks that she is challenging him. Stop it! No, don't do the airplane ears. Stop it. Yes, she's angry now, Winston. Anyway, what a like and subscribe. Oh my god, Barry, how do you come up with these? I have to say, I'm a fan of it. Like, not even kidding, was an interesting guy. I am afraid that I'm going to end up being a fangirl for Franklin as well, which is really stupid because that's kind of how I started. I realized in the beginning, all right, this author is probably a little bit of a fangirl, not just of Benjamin Franklin, but America as a whole. Um, he seems to be a little bit more critical about America, but honestly, I get it. I get it. It's a fascinating person with very interesting thoughts and ideas. An advocate for things that we're still working on and some things we have regressed on even. Um, Very willing to trust people, which unfortunately he learns the hard way you shouldn't do. Um, I don't know what Puritans and Calvinists, who those people were, what that means, but apparently they preached that salvation came through God's grace alone. It could not be earned by doing good deeds. Well, what the hell are you supposed to do then? What does that mean? That it gave them the secret freedom to just be a nuisance like Winston is being right now? Please don't do this. No, don't you meow. Don't you meow. I am playing with you. You have had all the treats. You're just jealous. We know this. We have established this. But do not attack your sister. There's no point. She does not understand what you're doing. Kids, am I right? Hi, Dominique. How are you doing? Yeah, cats will be cats. Well, Toos doesn't. I'm convinced now. Toos is not a cat. Toos is just a. I am going to lock you in the bathroom if you do that one more time. I am not kidding. You have had enough warnings now, and now it's enough. No, because you're learning that this will give you attention, and we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. Go rip something apart or something. You have your blankie, but leave her alone. Thank you. It's not a challenge, baby. I know. Give me a few more moments. It's just taking longer. I know you don't understand that, but still. Um, Overall, I'm highly amused. I'm learning a lot of things. I have to be careful with my notes though, because I want to write complete commentary at certain things. Stay here, Toos. Yeah, sit down, because he won't do it when you're near me. Winston, stop it. What is wrong with you? Out of nowhere. He has violent zoomies. There's zoomies and then there's violent zoomies. And if I'm available, he'll just attack me, but I'm not. Okay, you. Oh, the washer is turning on. Um, there's a few sad moments where like people, I don't get why jealousy is not a bad emotion. It just means that there is something that you would like to have, and thus you should work for. And you could use the person that is making you feel envy slash jealousy as someone to look up to. But instead, people demonize that person a lot of the time. The emotional intelligence is so low, not just here, but like it still is. I don't get that. Like your light does not get dimmer just because someone else is successful. In fact, you can learn from that person. You shouldn't try to banish them. I don't get it. So I have to be careful with my notes that I don't end up writing essays on every other page, because there's just so much information. And honestly, I kind of needed to calm down because there's too much. And I I don't mind that, but also I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. I do need to finish this before the end of the month. Book club picks, I am adamant to finish before the end of the month. If I carry over other books, that is sad, but I'll have to do. Winnie, I will do the same to you in a bit. Unfortunately, he likes that when I chase him around, which is the problem. Being jealous is childish. If you are acting on it in a petty way, then jealousy is always childish, because it's only kids that don't understand that. Um, I know he's actually being ridiculous. He's breaking the house. I don't. I think it's probably partly the cat tree, because he's ripping apart. I had to take the top part off because it wouldn't connect correctly. So we almost had a near death experience. A part of the cat tree broke, so it's not currently fully assembled, and it's freaking everyone out. But now he's just violent. I turned on a robot laser thingy that moves around, and he's just violent at the moment. Is it your time of the month or something? Listen, calm down. Anyway, Winston is chat in cat form. Honestly, yeah. Oh, I am forgetting. Hello, Johnny Killer, Crazy Joe, and Unstoppable. Thank you so much for the follows. Welcome in. I am reading the biography on Benjamin Franklin, and it is amusing. Now, just to be clear, just because I want to be able to finish this book within the month, because it's a book club pick, and next month new books, doesn't mean that you have to. If you do decide to pick this up, this is going to be something that might take you a few more months, and I would recommend you take your time with it. Don't do as I do. Do as I say. Um, it's kind of like, I mean, the Magic Mountain. I started that 2 months ago. Boy, does it feel like an actual mountain to read that book. It's very dense, and you actually have to take moments to catch your breath, as you would if you climb a mountain. You've plateaus where you rest, right? This is so dense, and it's very amusing. If you do decide to read this, I kind of already recommend. I don't think, I mean, it's history. They can't go much wrong with it. All we can do is learn. And I think that it will be, um, I think it's important to see that issues that this man raised and thoughts that he had are still things that we struggle with. And if we as a society really truly believe that we grow and become more sophisticated, maybe we should revisit these subjects and start talking about them again in context of history and how these things aren't new. Like, talk of equality is not new. Wanting to take care of those who are less fortunate through taxes is nothing new. It's been there forever. And that's just the beginning. I mean, I'm not even out of his 20s. Apparently, the thing he wrote about women who getting money after their 30s if they're not married yet, he wrote that when he was like 16, apparently. Dang, sir. So, very excited. If this was a joke, which I don't feel like it was anymore. Someone suggested that this might have been a kind of a joke submission to the book club submissions because it's thick. I don't think it's a joke anymore. I think this was a genuine actual submission, not a challenge. I love it so far. Hi, Borky and Kevlar. I love you guys too. I read a book which briefly spoke about his life, and he had an interesting life. He sure did. Yeah, he sure did. But also just a very interesting mind. Now, I'm not saying that I'll agree or have agreed with everything that he says and does, but that doesn't mean that you can't be fascinated, for one, and learn a lot from someone. Honestly, I think this is going to be one of the more interesting book club books that we've had so far. I didn't get to that part yet, but apparently he also either actually started free libraries, or at least he proposed it. He has something to do with free libraries, apparently, which is great. What the hell? What was the other thing? There was one thing that I didn't realize was his. He was kind of a vegetarian, sort of. Not quite, but sort of, for parts of his life at least, and that not having meat was a part of one of his business deals. It's just so funny to me, so ahead of its time. So is he is the person who invented your job? No, I mean, because there's this guy who has a private collection of 3,000 books, which that is like 3 times officially a library. From starting from 1,000 books, you have an actual library, but it's a private collection, and I haven't gotten to that part yet where libraries will become free for the public to loan books. In the Netherlands, we're going backwards when it comes to that as well. If you want people to be educated and move away a little bit from screens, we should make things like the library free. But instead, I don't even want to go into it, but it's become pretty expensive, and the system is really weird. I have an expensive subscription, which means I pretty much have the freedom to borrow as much as I need, but like the cheapest one means that you can borrow 10 bucks a year, but you still pay quite a lot, which is basically, it's like we used to have these cards that you used to go in the bus, and you would have to like put it in a machine to check the time, and then you had like a card. Basically, that's the idea, that the lower levels of library subscriptions, you get just a limited amount of that makes no sense. Unless you're a kid. Up until 18, I think the library is free, but I don't know. So he decided to make knowledge public, which is, to me, it sounds like that should be a right, but what do I know? Hi, Wisdom, what are you doing? Researched actual writings of Franklin's in Philadelphia's Historical Society. This person, as far as I understand, the author of this book is a professional biography writer, and I'm not sure who said it, but someone had read the one that he had written about Steve Jobs, and it was good. Apparently, there's also one by about Einstein. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So far, I do recommend it. If only because it will give you a very interesting perspective on the times we are living in now, and the times that this man was living in, and go from there. I hope that I can um, set up maybe a little bit of a list of questions to talk about once I've gotten through this book. But it's gonna take a moment because I just have to. Well, how many pages did I read? 28 pages or something, because for one, the pages are quite big. There's just a lot of information per page. There's things I'm not familiar with, and I do want to look up stuff if I stumble upon something that I'm curious about. Um, Certain books I've added to my TBR, and there are already some conclusions that I'm making in my brain that I flagged at the beginning, that in his early life already show that. Oh no. Who rate limits library powers? How does it make sense? It doesn't, random. It's motivation by introducing tiers such as this anyway, because they say that nobody uses the library, and this way they can make sure that no one uses the library. But it's a bit of a deep conversation. But yeah, I feel like they're doing it. Honestly, the way the Netherlands has been doing is we're becoming more and more America. Like, school used to be free. Unless you didn't get your diploma, then you had to pay back your loan. But now it's just a loan. No matter how good your grades were, if you can't pay for your own education, you need to get a loan. And sure, it's 0%, but it's still a loan. So you're still starting out your life at a disadvantage. Even though when I was younger, it was free. All you had to do, you would loan the money, but all you had to do was get your diploma, and then it was written off. Now it's a loan. When I worked at the library, it was still the old system. So you get a subscription, and the only limit was how many books at a time you were allowed to borrow. Now you have like subscriptions that for 10 books a year, 20 books a year, infinite. I'm just saying something. I don't know the actual numbers, but I do know that the lowest I think was 10 books a year, which is absolute madness. So we're just becoming more capitalist, and it's not helping anyone because less people are going to school. Libraries were already not popular, and now it's I don't know. I feel like they're trying to keep people stupid, but who am I? Just a girl with a flower crown on Twitch, you know. In the library in my city, the only limitation is you can't borrow more than 3 books at a time. Other than that, you can read as many books as you can and it's extremely cheap even for our country. Yeah, that's how it should be. But that's what I feel like. Conspiracy theories abound. Let me just say that. But yeah, and not even talking about healthcare. It's just more and more American, and that's not good because it's not going very well in America, is it? It's not a good template. It's not working out capitalism and everything for profit. Which is what it has become. It's everything for profit, even libraries. Cannot imagine libraries charging to read. Yeah, I mean you can go in there and sit and read for free. Entrance is free, but the subscriptions are ridiculous. I guess if you read a lot, the most expensive one does pay off. Yeah, but there's so many people who can't pay that. There's so many people who don't have that money, and they have been cut off from actually, having the freedom to learn. Yeah, to take books home, they charge. Yeah. Well, it's kind of like that with scientific papers. Pay well a lot. Oh, libraries are amazing places. Now, they do put a lot of effort these days in community activities. I think. I mean, there's meetings, sci-fi evenings, for example, or they'll invite an author, which will be local most of the time. Um, so they are trying to build community, but the fact that I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me and to you either. I'm happy to hear that. I don't know if people donate books in the Netherlands, but I see many people here give books to libraries, which makes it easy for them to financially not spend money on newer books. That's the thing. People just don't read over here. Honestly, I rarely meet people who read in real life. Rarely, even people with like high paying jobs and stuff, and intellectually quite able people. Most people in the Netherlands at the end of their school career will be very proud to say, I will never touch a book again. It's a thing. It's absolutely a thing. You don't see too many people reading in public either. So it's just sad that it's the same with public transport. If you want people to use public transport, make it free. But instead, it's just becoming more and more expensive. You don't want to know how much money it would cost me to get to the other side of the country. I would be able to go to fucking, I don't know, Spain for the same money and have a hotel for 3 days. One ticket to the other side to the country with a train, hella expensive. Doesn't make any sense. Don't get me wrong here, but not that many people read, but those who do read a lot usually. Yeah, not here. It's fascinating. Hi, Ox. And what? I mean, I don't know where you get these. They always have me flabbergasted. Ox, we're reading something very interesting for this month. Oh, god dang it, I forgot that. Well, I mean, that's good timing. This, a highly enjoyable, fascinating character, learning a lot. And, yeah, pick this up. I know I said read on the beach if you want to join us this month. But honestly, I think both are fascinating for their own reasons. This one because it seems to be the very first post-apocalyptic book that was ever written, published in 1957. This because it is just, for one, it was a very interesting person. A character you can learn a lot from his perseverance and his ability to learn from other people's mistakes and unfaithfulness. But also America, just American history, how society has or has not developed. Or how the current state of affairs is actually the opposite of how things were going back then. And the arguments that are being used are not just unvalid and untrue, but blasphemous. Blasphemous, I would say. He was a founding father, right? Or something. No, not that. A president, not a founding father. I don't know, actually. But apparently this man had a huge influence on how American life came to be about, he made the first political cartoon. Who remembers that one? Still, oh, he still is? I think he made it to oh, okay. Well, why not be both? Multifaceted, this guy. So he made America's first political cartoon produced by Franklin. Here it is. What do you mean? Also, a good foreshadowing for what politics were going to look like in the future, don't you think? He was only a president for the state of Pennsylvania. Oh, okay. Thank you, Joe. I don't know yet, but I believe you. Maricopa Joan or die. Yeah. It was the first political cartoon, apparently. And that was it. It's a good start. What the hell? So yeah, I'm amused, I'm fascinated, and but it's a lot of information, and I can't let go of facts. I need to, think about them, look them up, and it's not going to be a struggle to get through this because it will be dry, because it's not dry. It's written quite pleasantly, but more that there's just a lot to take in, and my brain doesn't know how to not make connections to now. So that is going to be my biggest trouble. Just the tickling in my brain that it's going to cause. Ben Franklin is considered one of the founding fathers of the USA. He was never elected president. Oh, I thought he was president. Hi, Sunmilk. How are you doing? Yes, die to live long taxes. Well, Joe, actually, the way he wanted to build taxes makes a lot of sense. Actually, instead of having an overall tax, it was very. We'll talk about it another time because I need to process these last 20 pages. Also, my laundry has turned on and it's very loud. Ask Aaron. My washer is a bit old. It is a dirty word, but that's only because it's been made dirty by politics. It doesn't have to be. It's just a word. It's just a word. But I understand why people feel that way, because I just had to do taxes, like, the end of last month. Hate it, every single time. But alas, it's one of the certainties of life, isn't it? I will be back tomorrow, though. I am going to close my curtains, dim the lights, and eat some rice porridge. I made rice porridge as a dessert, but I think I'm gonna have some for now. I'm looking forward to it. I wonder how much ebooks has helped kill libraries. They're loads cheaper. No, that's not really true. Actually, they're becoming more and more expensive, and sometimes even just the same price as normal books. I read an article about that. I don't have the energy to go into it. I'm so sorry, but that's not entirely true. We're gonna get into that another time. All right? I went to dim my curtains and my monitors and remove them and shoot them on the Oh my god, I'm gonna be your emotional support. Hold on, all right? You're gonna be okay, bastards. Send me their number. I want to mute the world sometimes. That doesn't work either. Look at the schedule to see what it means to you, and I say I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is a regular co-working stream. I might still read though, because honestly, I'm really not upset about this. It's curious. Don't forget to drink water. Let's take a sip before we go. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. Take care of yourself. I hope to see you very soon. Bye.